welcome to episode 11 of the X Factor Wrestling Show. Had a few questions stemming from yesterday's episode 10. I'm going to get to those. In fact, I guess I'll get to those first. And 11 Cena wanted to know if there's going to be any events in Toronto. As far as the WWE, right now nothing is booked. Nothing at the Air Canada Centre or Rogers Centre, or even not even Hamilton. As of right now, the WWE is not scheduled to come to Toronto. However, TNA is having their Hard Justice or No Surrender, whatever the pay-per-view is, on September 14th. They're having it in Oshawa. So if you're in the area, you should definitely check that out. I'm not sure if I'm going to be going to that or not, but I would like to. I've never seen TNA live, so it would be kind of cool. And unfortunately, I missed the Ring of Honor event last month, so I'd like to get to TNA. And that's September 14th. NYC Legend Killer wants to know, why is Brian Kendrick and Shelton Benjamin in the main event at Unforgiven? Good question. I mean, WWE's, back when they were the WWF, have tried things like this before, where they put glorified mid-carders in the main event in an attempt to make them, something more than what they are. Brian Kendrick's a good wrestler. He was fantastic back in his Ring of Honor days. He was fantastic as his tag team with Paul London. As a single star, I like his gimmick right now, the Brian Kendrick. I think it's kind of cool. He's got a good image. He's a little bit small in stature, a little bit skinny. Needs to get himself a little bit of muscle mass. Not that I'm one to talk or anything, but it can't hurt to throw him in there. It mixes things up. Shelton Benjamin has all the ability in the world, all the athleticism in the world. I don't think he has the mic skills, and he could do with a manager or something. But we've seen this in the past, and it's worked out. Look at Survivor Series 1992. Bret Hart defended the WWF title against Shawn Michaels, who at the time was pretty much new to the singles scene. He had just broken away from the Rocker just earlier that year. He was the Intercontinental Champion. He was a mid-carder. Sure, we know what he went on to do, but at the time he certainly wasn't a main eventer. Look what happened. It saved the pay-per-view, that match. The rest of the pay-per-view was garbage. And then Shawn Michaels, of course, went on to become the showstopper. Now, what other events has that happened? You look at something like SummerSlam 91, where it was Hogan and Warrior against Sergeant Slaughter and General Adnan. Sure, there was a storyline that goes behind that, but General Adnan certainly wasn't, main event material. And you go back to, was it SummerSlam 90, where, was it SummerSlam 90? I think it was, where it was Hogan and a partner who I can't remember at the moment against Macho Man and Zeus. Remember Zeus from that No Holds Barred movie or whatever that Hogan was in? It was awful, but they decided to throw the character from the movie into the main event of the pay-per-view. It sold pretty well, and the match was a disaster. But it's happened before, and really, we're talking about a transition pay-per-view. Unforgiven is not one of the big four. We're talking about something that's going to kill some time between now and Survivor Series. Cyber Sunday as well is something that kind of just, buys them some time, leads into other storylines. And, of course, Survivor Series is around the time they start laying the groundwork for WrestleMania, because the Royal Rumble is just around the corner, and that's where the road to WrestleMania begins, and it's all a big cycle. And at this point, maybe they're testing out Brian Kendrick, maybe they're testing out Shelton Benjamin. If they do well in the main event, they're not going to win, but if they, put in a good performance, maybe some people will take notice, maybe they'll say, hey, these guys can wrestle on the same level as Triple H or CM Punk or whoever. and they get over as a result. So that's your questions for the week. I don't think I had any more. Gail Kim, I guess I should mention this. Gail Kim is done with TNA. This week's Impact is her last show. She's having a street fight with Awesome Kong. She has signed with the WWE, and they offered her a hell of a lot of money, so look for her to become a big part of the diva scene as early as I will guess this week, because TNA doesn't have a 90-day no-compete clause like the WWE does. What else? Mike Adamle could be wrestling in the ring at some point. Adamle's hired a personal trainer in Chicago, and he does have an athletic background. He was a good NFL player at one point, but that was over 30 years ago. So look for Mike Adamle to get into the ring. Now I have some unfortunate news. Killer Kowalski, who, as you probably know, has been in the hospital for about 2 months now. Dave Meltzer reported that he had passed away a couple days ago, and my buddies and my colleagues at Slam Wrestling reported that that wasn't the case. He was alive and he was doing okay. Unfortunately, he has been reported as brain dead as of this moment. They took him off life support, and they don't expect him to survive probably the week. So keep Killer Kowalski in your thoughts and prayers. He's obviously a legend in professional wrestling, and his family and himself obviously could use your prayers at the moment. On that note, it's an unfortunate note to end the show on, but episode 11 is a wrap. If you have any questions, comments, please send them in. Your questions really help the show go along smoother, because I have something to talk about when you send in your questions. It can be anything: wrestling's past, present, future, anything you want wrestling related. Please send it in. And again, to discuss wrestling, www.mywrestlingforum.com. It's brand new. We're looking for moderators. We're looking for members. We really want to get it flooding in, get the membership flooding in. Once this forum takes off, it's going to be part of a larger sports network, and a larger sports sports website. It's going to be full of content, and if you want to, be one of the cornerstones of the community, or one of the founding members, now's the time to jump in there. So sign up, mywrestlingforum.com. Send your questions and comments in. You can ask them on that forum as well. I'll be happy to answer them on the web show, and or on the forum, and we'll see you over there. Thanks for watching. Until next time.